So here we go then, finally back with my team, round number 1, Bahrain of this final season on F1 24. Now, this one of course is going to be the season opener. Now, if you guys want to check out the prequel or the prologue of what happened in pre-season, showing off all the liveries, then go watch, guys, the pre-season video linked on screen, also showing off the new tyre supplier. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about this weekend's event. The forecast is dry. We then look at the upgrade chart. Now, a long off-season has brought us here. We are solid mid-table. Not great, not terrible, just literally right in the middle. We've actually lost a little bit of performance compared to the back end of last season, but generally, we're not in too bad shape. You know, other teams have really dropped, like Audi have taken a massive drop to the bottom of the table. Renault have actually taken a reasonable step in the off season, so there's been a few, changes here and there. Either way, for us, it's not a bad start. But guys, we're going to jump into practice and get the new car shaken down on the way.
The long wait is over. This is it, a brand new season. And before the show gets well and truly underway, we've got the all-important matter of a free practice session. It's great to be back. It's so exciting to be here at a new season. Plenty for the drivers to get their heads around. What will be going through their minds right now?
The faster you can work around the circuit conditions and get the car tailored to your liking, the better. And then you can just focus on the job in hand in terms of lap times. But first of all, you've got to get the car feeling right.
I can't even lie, man. I love the revised livery. It's very subtle, very, just small tweaks, but they all add up. And the car does look quite different, compared to last year. I think it's a really nice, clean evolution. The blue on the side pod, the black on the nose tip, and just really bringing the car together and making it the ultimate package. Also a lot more carbon on the side pods as well. And yeah, just generally it works really well together. Now, we're going to finish off our practice runs with actually a pretty decent 5-lap run.
Job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Now you might notice in this video a few things a bit different, camera position, a few different edits here and there, especially in the race, so I want to hear feedback on those. As for feedback on practice, we had excellent tyre wear, really good tyre wear. Fuel burn was above average, I'd say, but you can see the last lap there, tyres started to really let go, but for 4 laps they held on really well. We finished in 18th, Ricciardo in his first session with the team, P12, so potentially an encouraging sign looking forward into qualifying. Now, speaking of which, we finished practice with a decent chunk of R&D points, and Ricciardo also chipping in there with a solid haul of his own of 352 R&D points. Now, we also picked up a bunch of discounts, you can see on the durability especially, which is what we have basically available. So we're going to have to basically buy a lot of these upgrades to remove them from the kind of discounts. As genuine productive ones, there aren't many for us to benefit from. So good practice, good session, good start. But now we're going to see how things translate to qualifying, and we're going to find everyone's true pace.
Under the bright lights of Bahrain, it is time for qualifying. Grid position up in the air. Who is going to seize the moment?
I'm never going to lie, the Adidas teamwear is so clean. We did it before Mercedes did in real life in 2025. We had it all of last season and it really works well. Shout out to Race King for that one. Anyway, we're going to make our way onto our first lap, and we do lock a right front through turn 1. Then to turn 10, we lock a left front and just struggling to get the car to work, and I could feel like the car was a little bit slow. We've lost performance in the off season. Even though we managed to protect all of our upgrades, we haven't really moved forward, and the car didn't feel particularly great. We finish our first lap, we go P7 ahead of Ricciardo actually, so just ahead of our teammate already. Good sign there as a kind of, banker lap to be ahead of our teammate. But we're going to go for a quick cool down lap, get the tyres under control, and we're going to go for a second push, because usually this works quite well for us in terms of a run plan for a short qualifying session. That's what we usually do in these career modes, a short quali, not a full quali, because we're going to probably get into Q3 pretty much every race. So it's kind of a pointless exercise. Anyway, already you can see we're up a tenth and a half. A much better turn 1, really aggressive down to the apex, driving style. Same for turn 4, we get a better line and exit, so we're 2 tenths up in the first sector. Now through the S's, just kissing the curbs all the way down the hill, plunging into turn 8. Really important to open up the hairpin here and get the exit, and you can see we found a whole chunk of time, 3.5 tenths up into turn 9, which feeds into turn 10. Important to open the entry and then kind of tighten it up into the apex and focus on the exit and really get that drive on the way out. We don't actually gain much there, to be fair, but a clean run nonetheless. Turn 11, 4th gear, clip the inside curb, a little bit of camber to help rotate the car, so we now head uphill through 12 and 13, just trying to keep it all together here as we cross the second sector split. Currently 2 tenths up on Hulkenberg in 13th, and we're now half a second up, so we're looking very good on this second one. 1 corner to go, technically 2, double apex right, but it's all one motion. On the curb on entry, use every bit of the curb on the exit, just really using all the track, and then burn your battery to the line as we open DRS, and we're going to go into the 125s, 25.7, we're going to the top 5, and that is a much better time. So a healthy start after that first run in the session. Piastri and Norris looking supreme in the McLaren, potentially a prediction or a spoiler of the real 2025 season to come. Of course, McLaren looking supreme in pre-season. We're currently 4 tenths off P1, so not a million miles away, but that previous lap did seem pretty sweet. So we're going to have to really, you know, hook it up to try and even challenge for pole, which I don't think is on the cards. So onto the last run, we're going to use a little inside line shortcut where the track is a bit smoother and you can gain a bit of time on the straight, but we don't particularly gain much in this instance, and I actually ended up hurting myself because we got some marbles on the tyres, so I completely lock up and run deep into turn 1, thus pretty much putting an end to my lap. So at this point we need to go for broke and really commit to just sending it everywhere to try and find lap time, and you can see we've found about a half a tenth compared to turn 1, so we're slowly clawing the time back. Through turn 8 we find a little bit more time on the exit, and we've almost got about a tenth back as Norris goes quickest. Into turn 9 we lock up the left front though, and I feel like I'm just struggling with the braking with this car. You know, I showed you the lockups on our first run as well, and I'm just not quite able to get the front tyres and the front end to work around here in single lap pace. Lando on pole, Leclerc, Russell top 3, Piastri finishes P5 in the end, and you can see we out-qualified Daniel in our first qualifying session together by just over 2 tenths of a second, and the Aston Martins split us. So not a bad session. P10, just above mid-table. The new boys there, Pourchaire and Dennis Hauger in 19th and 20th in the Haas, but generally not a session to rave home about, but the reality is I think we might be a little bit on the back foot, and this could be an issue for the season. So let's see, Jello's are next up, so that should work well for us.
Months of rumour and speculation all comes to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. Formula One returns to the desert today and this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Perez, Gasly, Sainz, Martinez, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Albon, Tsunoda, Sargent, Teo Pourchaire, Hauger, Joe, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, welcome back after all the testing, the build-up, It all now comes down to this.
Everyone's G'd up for this one. They've done the testing, like you say. The drivers will be revving inside, heart rates going, trying to burst out their chest at this moment. With that anticipation, who's got the speed? We're going to learn now, once and for all.
So here we go. Time for the main event. Very interesting scenario in this one. P10, we are middle of the pack. I think we can have a good race. I really do think we can do well. I think we are a little bit off the pace around here compared to last season, surprisingly. I don't quite have the pace. The AI seems to have really stepped it up this year. Either way, I think we didn't quite get our last run in qualifying, so I think there was a bit more pace to be shown. But for this one, the key thing is going to be the strategy. So we're going to take a leaf out of the league racing and we're going to basically avoid the medium tyre because it actually doesn't really work around here that well at all. So we're going to go for a hard to soft tyre strategy, which should work pretty well. Fuel-wise, we're going for 0.5, so half a lap extra. We are in traffic, in the train, so we should be able to save fuel in DRS. So let's see what happens, and hopefully, come the end of it, we pick up some decent points. Now, we have quite a selection of compounds across the field. We're starting on the hard, Sainz on the softs, and then Gasly, Stroll, Alonso, from what we can tell, are on mediums, and we don't know what other guys around us are doing. Either way, everyone trying to figure out what these new Bridgestones are going to be like for this one. Going to get those rears a little bit warmed up as we get placed on the grid for our race start. Let's get to it. Right, a new season, number 1 on our car. Can we defend our crown? Lights on. And away we go. Oh, not the best start. Not terrible though. Pierre Gasly with a bit of a slow launch in the Renault, but we get boxed in here into turn 1, so not much place for us to go. Wow, we've really dropped. We're going to get a couple of positions back as we are now side by side, or were side by side with Alonso in the Aston Martin. We're going to try and go around the outside here at turn 4. Seems like the majority of AI have opted for the medium compound tyre. I tried to pinch Alonso there, but he was having none of it. So we're still battling away. Lock up from Ricciardo into turn 8. We're going to go around the outside though, and we are going to get Alonso back definitively. So P13. So we lose 3 places off the start. Ricciardo with a fast one on the softs. Good to see. Finally got a teammate in the race here, it seems. But for now, we're going to have to just be patient at this stage. The tyres are not quite there. We're going to need a lap or 2 just to really get them in the window before we start to ramp it up. But for this one, I think we don't have the car we had 12 months ago, but we've got a better teammate, so we can probably work together here. It's good that we're on opposing strategies as well, so that could throw a spanner in the works and give us the best chance of, getting some points today. Right now though, I don't have an answer. We can't quite get within a second of Esteban Ocon here, and I'm pretty low on battery as well, so this is not optimal.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Alonso having a look, but we're braking fairly late. We do manage to get DRS off the back of Esteban Ocon here, but I am a little bit short on battery, so I'm going to tactically let Alonso by here and see if he can run the pace a little bit. Albon having a bit of an opportunistic look up the inside, but we'll just keep him cornered for now. He goes again though, as I was taking a chance there with my battery modes on none to try and charge a little bit. Bit of contact down the hill, but crucially we stay ahead of Albon. We might lose the eyes of Alonso here. Let's make sure to not do that. Taking a short line to make sure we get DRS at the minute. We're struggling to get this tyre to work. We're not going to get DRS on Alonso for the pit straight. Norris setting the pace up front, but we don't have DRS on Fernando here, so we're going to have to let Albon go.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. We'll keep taking care of them.
Look at this, man. We are struggling. Hulkenberg having a look in the V car, but we'll keep him behind for now. I'll say for now because he's going to try again. The AI really aggressive on the battery around this particular track. We'll go late into turn 4 around the outside. and stay in front. Right, come on, let's try and settle in behind Albon here. Tyres will come to us in a couple laps time. Race will come to us as well. Stay patient. Tyres are now working well. I've made an adjustment to the brake bias. I've actually moved it back, which I wasn't expecting to work, but actually is working very well. I was front locking constantly. Now we've actually got a bit more balance and rotation with the 54 bias compared to 55, and I'm not actually locking the rears, so I'm a little bit more comfortable now, and I'm able to push the car a little bit. So things are looking up. We've got a full charge, so we could look at potentially getting Albon now and having to push to see if I can get back within DRS range of Alonso here. So let's try and have a look maybe on the main straight. 2 personal best sectors, a little bit wide of the apex at the last corner there, but it'll do. We should be able to get this one with DRS. Important that we time this, really, that we get DRS on the next straight. I think I might have gone a bit too deep on the brakes there, a bit of rear lock-in as we had to slow the car down. Yep, so we don't get DRS, that's a shame. Anyway, let's push on. Let's try and use our battery here to gain on the cars in front. I can't tell if I gave Albon damage because he's dropped back with that little snap into turn 1. And he's been passed by Hulkenberg and is dropping quickly. We've also, as I just said, dropped Hulkenberg out of DRS. We're not quite going to get DRS on Alonso though, but that was a good lap from us. And definitely the ball is now in our court. Pace is looking pretty healthy. So you can see now into the 129s. That's a very good time. So a little bit of battling ahead and we'll be right there hopefully this lap. Oh, got a warning. Is it going to be worth it? No, it isn't. We're not quite going to get it. We should be there, hopefully, this time next lap. One more good lap and we'll be there. This could be our race, to be fair. We've got both Aston Martins and both Renaults in this train. And, of course, myself and Ricciardo. So it's a 3-team fight. All 6 cars in this train. And we've also got DRS. So we had an excellent downhill run through 6, 7, and 8. And we're there now, so we can prepare a little bit of a charge and start getting by one. Also keen to see if there's any 2-stoppers in this race. Clearly it seems like we don't have the pace that Formula A per se, McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari have at this stage, and Mercedes there as well, but best of the rest seems to be the target for the time being. Right, that's a very interesting exit. Alonso visibly not very quick under traction, which is the AI's strongest trait. I've just moved my bias up by 1 back to the front because I'm getting to the point where I'm rear locking now, so rear tyre wear, it's starting to become a bit of a factor here, so just managing that a little bit. Now then, I think we could potentially look for a move on Fernando here if we get a good last corner. So nice and tidy. Ricciardo, who's starting to drop back as well, struggling with his own tyre wear. Got a yellow further back. Oh my god, Alonso's letting it go with the battery. Can we get through before potential safety car, virtual safety car? There's battling ahead. On the outside of Fernando at turn 1. Helga out of the race, and we do pass Fernando. Nice move. Look at the battling ahead though. Big scrap between Stroll, Gasly, Ricciardo 3 wide at turn 4. You can hear the contact. A little bit of a check up there. I'm going to just hang back for a second. Ricciardo gets to the front of the train. Up the inside of Ocon at the hairpin at turn 8. Going to open up the exit and we're going to make that pass, so we make a couple of overtakes on this lap. We've definitely got the pace now. These are critical laps for us with these tyres. We've got the advantage, so we have to make them count. Again, good exit there, putting Stroll under pressure. Going to go to the outside. Brake very late. Get the upper hand. That's another move. All while using minimal battery, which is really, really good. But yeah, these laps are critical. We can actually decide our race here by doing a bit of a time trial and doing a few qualifying laps in a row. We can put a dent in these guys and potentially just, have a nice pedestrian second half of the race. We've got those soft tyres, of course, later on to arrive, which could make things interesting. Let's see. I'm expecting Gasly to challenge Ricciardo here as Perez is in already. So an early stop Piastri in as well. for McLaren. Thought about the move there, but I'm going to see if I can try maybe get an exit and a run up towards turn 4, which we do achieve. We're going to use Ricciardo for slipstream. And the outside. Nice. Good pass. Expecting Ricciardo to box on this lap, so we're going to just hang back and wait for some DRS on the main straight from him. Lando in. Verstappen in. So it seems like the Ferraris are wanting to go a bit longer, or at least one of them is. Ricciardo will box. There he goes. We're going to have to defend our position here, so
Daniel's in for his stop.
we'll take a shorter run. We do manage to just get out ahead of Norris there, which is good. We might be able to hang on to the back of the McLaren, you never know. And that could help us massively in these final laps of the stint. But for now, clean out. Let's try and up the pace a little bit. Wow, Lando is super rapid. I used battery out of that corner, but he's still got the run regardless. Not sure who got a DRS there. I think actually, no, okay, we did. Nice. So we can stick with Norris here for the time being. Hamilton, Leclerc box. So 1-2 behind Lando. We'll let him just take the lead. He's been so quick all race long. So following him could be a good thing for us. Personal best. Wow. That's how important it is that we stick with Norris here. Oh my god, I almost got dropped there. Gap went to 9.91. Norris is just too fast. We will get dropped on this lap, I think. He's too quick. Way too fast. Either way, that was a productive couple of laps there. Good pace on that one. Let's just keep going. I want to try and get to lap 20 if possible. We're managing okay at the minute. By the way, the group behind are battling so much. They are making zero progress on us right now. And I'm not sure if the other groups behind are also battling, but either way, it's looking pretty good. Ricciardo's got a healthy break as well over that battle of the Alpines and the Aston Martin. So Ricciardo running solo and catching Perez in the Mercedes cars. So things aren't looking too bad right now. Whoa, okay, first signs now, tyres are really opening up a little bit.
Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs.
There's the wear, 40% left rear, definitely struggling, but we're going to be okay to make it. Uh-oh, second warning. Just went a little bit too wide there. I think we're going to box next lap, bring it forward by a lap because we're starting to drop now a little bit. Ricciardo also dropping back into that Aston Alpine Renault battle, so yeah, we're going to probably box next time around and bring it forward to avoid falling too far back.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Yep.
Daniel's in the pits.
Okay, so Daniel's two-stopping it, so that might be the end of his race by the looks of it. Seems like the only car to be two-stopping, so it's going to be on us then to get the points in this one. Right, we've done this a lot lately, so let's not do it today. Let's not speed into the pit lane if possible. Scruffy last corner, but in we go. There we go, cautious pit entry, very, very cautious, but taking no risk. That was a decent stint. I think we're going to be right with those Alpine and Aston Martins, I think. Possibly on the back end of the train, but on fresh softs. So we'll have an advantage. Here we go. First stop of the season. 2.3 with that new equipment, a 10th quicker. And that's going to be exactly as I predicted, I think. We might actually be behind this V-carb.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Hulkenberg. Alright, managed to keep him at bay there, but I'm a little bit deep. Offline at turn 1. We're going to be on cold tyres. We'll have to defend the line. We'll show Hulkenberg up high, and I'll try and fight this with the grip into turn 4 on the fresh softs. Just like that. Okay. Now then, let's go after these guys. Points on the table. Let's go take them. And let's also try and get the fastest lap as well. Every point matters. So we'll try and go for that. Yellow flag. That's one of the Haas cars behind. Let's see. This is going to be my purple fastest lap attempt on this one most likely. So I want to make it count. But I don't want to leave myself short on battery for when we overtake the cars ahead. Ball chair, there it is, confirmation. No safety car though. Right, we've got some traffic to get through on our fastest lap, beginning with Ocon in the Renault. Gonna see if I can get this one. On the inside, a little bit deep.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Missed the apex a little bit. Need a good last corner here to try and get this lap. That wasn't great. Got a decent bit of battery though. This could be close. Right, lovely. We should keep that. I'll be surprised if anybody beats it. Oh yes, big lunge on Stroll there. Supreme confidence in the rubber. We have to strike now because we've got the fresh tyres. In like 2 laps time it will quickly level out, so we have to really make every corner count and every overtake count. So Gasly next. This is for the points. So we'll try and get him here right away. A little bit wide there. Apologies. Pushed him a little bit offline, but we're through. We'll get Alonso on the pit straight. I actually think there's a chance we could catch those 3 cars ahead, the 2 Mercs and Perez, I believe. Let's see. This could be interesting. Every lap counts. Every lap matters here. We don't go quicker, but it's all good. We're going to get Alonso here. Just outbrake him. And that's P9. So at the minute, 3 points coming our way. But could it be a few more? If we were to get these 3 cars ahead who are battling, well, 3 wide, by the way, to turn 4. If we could get the 2 Mercs and Checo, suddenly a P6 and a fastest lap is much better in terms of, you know, what our true pace was. That really does hide the result quite well. So let's try and get after it. Come on. They're right there. Look at them. Lost so much time. Didn't quite get DRS there. Little bit wide through, I think that was turn 13, which is a shame. Purple middle sector though. Really was pushing on that one. Flat out. Can we go even faster? Yes, we can. 28.2. I think we'll get DRS for the next straight if we're lucky here. So we've got ourselves in the mix, and we've still got plenty of tyre grip left. So let's try and make it count. Oh, hello. Lewis, poor exit. Potentially struggling with traction already. Around the outside we go. And that's the grip I'm talking about from the soft tyres, which, by the way, still hanging in there, so that's encouraging. Let's see if we can try and get Checo here right away. We might get all 3 of them in literally half a lap. And then if we can break DRS, we're in the money. Big time. Still got to watch out for that last warning. Don't want to get too cocky on track limits. Right, here we go. Let's try and get Checo on the main straight, and then we might get a slingshot onto Russell for the next one up towards turn 4. Look at that, right there on the traction, right there on the exit, so much quicker. We'll be able to use minimal battery and get this one done. Here we go, Checo derating. That's going to help a little bit. Around the outside. Leaves us a little bit far from George, but I'll see if I can have a go. No, a bit far back. A little bit far back. Not going to rush into this. We've done so well to get to this position. We're going to just time this. Potential move here, though, into the hairpin if I can get the run through the downhill S's, which I have. This time we don't run it wide. Clean move. We're just going to give them a squeeze. And just like that, P6 plus fastest lap is ours. Let's try and break away now. We haven't passed at the ideal spot, but we'll use everything. We've had a great exit there. Look at the gap suddenly to Russell. We've got a chance to break DRS right away. Just through here, turns 11, 12, 13. If I can get this right, we can go. Just got to use all the battery here and commit to this. A little bit wide there. Come on. Break DRS. I think we've got it. Yes, we have. Huge. Let's just bring this home now. And also got to manage the fuel a little bit. Fuel's a bit touch and go. Oh, they're battling behind. That's it. GG's. Thank you very much. Now then, Lando is already over the line. Unbelievable race. There you go. Norris wins in Bahrain. Crushes everyone. Is that a preview of the real life 2025 season? Because this is 2025 in game. The McLaren looks fast. We'll see what happens. That could be a spoiler. In the meantime, the other cars now crossing the line. To be fair, we weren't that far off P2. Great second half of the race, really. Just really the first third was pretty poor, but the rest of the race was excellent. Really good pace, good recovery, good points.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Corner for the last time. Lando Norris is victorious.
It's always great to kick off the season with a race victory. You hit the ground running, and it's really good for your confidence as well moving forward. It's so important to set off on the right footing, and that's exactly what they've been able to achieve today.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track.
Well, there we go, guys. A really, really strong performance, and we also confirmed the extra point for the fastest lap. So, really good at the office. Car was good to drive in the second half of the race. Even on the hard tyres, it just took us a while to really get comfortable on that Bridgestone hard tyre, especially for the first 5 laps. It really did struggle to get working. Lando picks up the window and convincingly crushes the field. Leclerc second, Verstappen third, Piastri missing out on the podium, Sainz down in P5. Then both Mercs behind us in P6 with Alonso Perez scoring the final point. So just to quickly confirm, if we scroll down to Ricciardo, who of course two-stopped it, yeah, not the race you really want to see on his debut. So yeah, it is what it is. We now go to the, of course, standings. Now the drivers is irrelevant, but the constructors, as there are 2 drivers scoring points, we're 5th for now. So essentially picking up where we left off last season. So we'll see what happens, guys, in round 2 in Jeddah. For the meantime, like the video, subscribe. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. As always, a massive shout out to my channel members for supporting the content. Down below, you're going to have all the links to all the mods used in the series. Also, check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys in my next one very soon. Take care, and let's go back from me. Ciao.